Shy, welcome to Joel. Hey guys. How's it going? Don't ask me how I am then. Dicks. Sorry, I'm alright. So I started smoking recently, but I really want to give up. But I did a little bit of research, and apparently if you try to give up smoking, you actually gain weight, and I don't want to get fatter than I already am. I used to be really big in primary, and they used to call me things like chubby McFat tits and Fatty McMuffin. I hate my grandparents. So who here smokes? Woo? Yeah. Anyone else? One person? Yeah. So you know what I talk about when in the morning when you're there and you're lying in bed and it's raining and it's cold, but you really want a cigarette. So you just think to yourself, you got to make sacrifices to get lung cancer. So I started using Facebook recently. Who else uses Facebook? Yeah. Do you guys know those statuses that people put up? Like this or an African kid dies? You see those? Yeah. I decided to change my name on that to nobody, so when someone puts up something like that, I can like it, so it will come up with nobody likes this. I'm scared to go on Facebook now because the other day I got poked by my stepmom. The worst part was I poked her back. True story. So I'm from New Zealand, if you haven't figured out already. Have you guys heard about the gay marriage and the marriage equality bill? Yeah. I mean, really, who cares? Everyone knows it's only a proper relationship when it's on Facebook anyway. I mean, my grandparents have been married for 50 years, and I'm like, why are you guys still living together? That's probably why they call me Fatty Bitch Tits. Sorry, that was really unprofessional. So I tried meditating the other day, but I find it really hard to concentrate on nothing, because apparently you're supposed to concentrate on nothing, but nothing is something and something is everything, and your mind just blows up into a big thing. And I just get, and then I'm like, oh no, the kitchen's on fire. So I decided I'm going to try and focus on one thing, and so I decided to focus on a pencil. So I'm sitting there, a pencil. I used to draw when I was a kid with a pencil. I used to draw elephants. I went to the zoo once. I saw an elephant. I love elephants. I'd love to go to India one day. I love cuisine. Cuisine is my favourite thing. My dad left me when I was a little kid. So I went to a party a couple of years ago with my mates and we got really drunk, and I found this pregnancy test, and I thought it'd be really fun to pee on it. So I thought I'd try something and I peed on it. Turns out it was an iPod Shuffle. It still came up positive for me. Knowing Apple, it was hyped up for a couple of months and didn't end up coming out for another year. I hate it when people label things, like, oh, I'm a musician. No, you're not. You can play Stairway to Heaven. That's not good enough. Or, oh, I'm an actor. No, you're not. You played a tree in the school production. That doesn't count. Or oh, and that doesn't mean, just because I follow you home and shoot your dog and watch you sleep doesn't mean I'm a stalker. True story. Who is it? Who else as a kid used to do prank calls? Anyone? Yeah, one person. Because I was thinking the other day, I haven't done a good prank call in a while. The classic ones like, oh, is your refrigerator running? No? Oh, you better go and catch it. I came up with my own one the other day. I rang up someone and I said, excuse me, sir, is your refrigerator working? They said, yes. I said, well then it's probably white. They hung up before I could even talk about stainless steel. That's it. Do I have enough time for like one more really short one? Cool. I have really big feet. You guys all know what that means, right? I'm really uncoordinated. Who goes clubbing here? Who likes going clubbing? Yeah. I met someone the other day when I was clubbing, and they were really strange people. People were really strange, and they said the best people who give blowjobs are one without teeth. And I said, oh, how do you know that? He said, I work in a rest home. True story. Last quick one. I want to make myself an action figure so I could play with myself in public without getting arrested. That's from Brisbane, so let's make it worth his while. Give him a big round of applause and go.
Okay, I'm going to stand in the light, I think, because I want to be big and famous at the moment, just big. So, hello. I've just returned from 21 years living in Japan. Konnichiwa. I married a Japanese woman 25 years ago. We had a traditional Australian wedding. We lived together first. She fell pregnant, so we got married. I've got 3 half Japanese, half Australian children. The oldest boy, when he was 7 years old, looked like Astro Boy. He's 23 years old now, which I found out the other day is exactly the same age as Game Boy. I've tried to make sure that all of my children understand a lot about both of their cultures, and my efforts seem to have paid off, because wherever I've taken them, they want to take photographs of everything, but they're too lazy to take along a camera with them. We sleep on a futon. I used to call it my futon to root on, but I'm 51 years of age now, so food has replaced sex in my life. I need my own pants these days. Lady down the front here, she's about 19 years old. She's going. So how old are you? 18. 18. I was pretty close at 19. Yeah. Alright. So you don't know fucking anything! So, I've been back in Australia for a few months now. I've decided to get back into doing stand-up comedy. I used to do stand-up comedy many, many years ago. I've been a street performer in Japan for the last 21 years, doing my show in Japanese. Went back to Brisbane, which is where I was born and raised, and I got a permit to busk, to street perform at South Lake. And if you're standing after you've finished your show, holding your hat, collecting the cash from the audience, and there's a little girl, maybe 6 or 7 years old, wearing only a bikini bottom, with a little string tie on the sides here. And you go, I can see your nipples! They take your permit to busk away from you. I found that out the hard way. So I'm down at Centrelink, right? And the bloke behind the counter is telling me that I have to actually actively look for a real job. And I felt like telling him that I have a problem with my eyes. I don't see myself going back to a real job. It's a bloke joke. Some people like to call them dad's jokes. I call them blokes jokes because it's more poetic. I write poems. I wrote a poem about the experience of the futon. There's nothing quite so boring as lying beside someone snoring. While the rafters are shaking with the sounds that they're making, sleep is the last thing you can do. You think about going and getting some glue so you can hold the nostrils closed of that person beside you who's dozed. You're in a sleep-deprived state, so you tell yourself to wait while you search for a solution. You remember something someone said about how a snoring person's head has to be on its side so that that little piece of fat flapping at the back of her nostrils will stop its flapping, and you can start to nap. So you lift this person's shoulder, it's like a fucking boulder. You wish you'd kept up at the gym. You're glad that she's a her and you're a him. Finally you get the job done. It feels like you've done a 10-mile run. It's just then that you realise she has the blanket between her thighs. That was cultural. Well, this is Byron Bay. You should be more culturally, this is consciousness expanding land here, right? Okay? Is it alright? Am I doing okay? I'm doing great. Where are you from?
Right here.
Right here. You were born on the floor here in Byron Bay Brewery? Right here. I was, yes. You're speaking with an accent though.
Oh, God.
Oh, okay. Forgive. I'm wrong again. I have a 13-year-old daughter. Do you know what haiku is? It's a Japanese form of poetry. There's a similar form called senryu. I have a senryu poem about my daughter. It still works in 5-7-5 syllables, okay? Okay. I told my daughter, I have no money today. Now I have to pay. Her reaction got more of a laugh than that. Another one. My poems are dark, is what someone said to me. I stabbed him to death. Oh, that got you to laugh. I'm glad. It's been a while since I've done stuff in English, and I've been back for a little while. The first week I was back, I went past a place called the Windsor State School, near where I'm staying in Windsor. And it had a sign out the front that said, "We say no to bullying." And underneath that was WSS. Obviously it stands for Windsor State School, but if you're driving past rapidly and you're just sort of reading it, it goes, "We say no to bullying. Wuss." Okay, I'll do this last one. I drove down to Sydney and I went through Coffs Harbour, and they've got a sign out the side of the road just on the Pacific Highway. It's blue and white, it's got a big blue and white checkerboard border that says, "Camouflage police vehicles patrol this area." I just got a mental picture of driving down the road, looking in the rearview mirror and seeing a fucking banana tree following me. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all from me. Thank you very much for the opportunity.